going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So we're still moving forward with the whole engine build and kind of revamping the Killin It Mega Truck, also known as Killin It Resurrection. Still got the axles all tore apart. That was kind of where we left off with our last video. And we got the wheels off the truck still, but now we're starting to look more towards that engine bay because it ain't gonna be a Killin It Mega Truck if the motor don't run. As I've been saying, we're gonna be working in the engine bay a hell of a lot over these next few weeks, couple months. So we have got to do something with this thing. Now what this is, I don't think I've ever even really discussed it in my videos before, but this is my working platform because it is like damn near impossible to work under the hood of that thing with how freaking tall it is. So I think this was a combined effort between the mad scientist and myself. We have this super Killin It hitch on the front of the truck where I have that monster hook where it's like a last resort for getting pulled out of a mud hole if we can't get pulled out from the back axle or from the back bumper or from the front axle. Last resort is that sweet front hitch. Well, going into the hitch, we made this working platform, and it makes it so much easier for working under the hood. Now, I kind of threw this together pretty quickly because I was trying to do some stuff to the truck, like right around the time that I built the platform, so it was kind of a quick rush. So to do this one, actually all that I did, you can probably tell by looking at it, that is a Harbor Freight cargo thing that goes in your rear trailer hitch. People put coolers and crap like that on it. Now I wanted to be able to hold my big fat ass, so I kind of beefed it up a little bit. I put this big gusset in here. This centerpiece here was actually a thinner wall material, so I replaced it, put this big old 1/2-inch thick freaking bar on it, welded it all up. Not too bad if I say so myself. I was kind of back when I was still learning how to weld. I don't think it was too terrible. Works. I haven't fallen off it yet. But anyways, that was pretty much all that I've done to this platform. But moving forward with this engine build, there's probably going to be more than just me standing up there. Probably be a couple of us at one time doing different things, working on different things. And I honestly do not trust that because it's been sitting outside for the past couple of years. That's where I store it. So it's got a little rusted. Welds aren't the greatest thing in the world, and it's just kind of chintzy and crappy. So we're building a whole new one that's going to be super freaking killing. It's going to be made out of aluminum. It's going to look a lot nicer. We're going to get our good buddy Steve over at R&D Concepts to weld it up for us so it'll look freaking pristine. But yeah, so that is the project for this evening. At least that's what I'm going to get started with this evening. Got a couple pieces of material. I'm going to start measuring them up because we're going to do a little bit of a design change. We're going to take this thing to the next level. That platform is amateur. I think it's Killin It. We need one that's killing it if we're going to start putting a Killin It motor in the Killin It Mega Truck. It's a lot of killing it. We don't want to overkill it, but it's a lot of killing it. So the first step of building this thing, what I want to do is make sure I've got the main actual beam that's going to come out of the hitch. Make sure I've got that proper length. I think we're going to go with roughly about 72 by 25. So 25 inches off the front of the truck, it'd be 72 inches wide. So it should come almost all the way to the outer edge of the bumper. So we should be able to get to the whole front of the engine bay and be nice and accessible. But one kind of neat thing that I did, actually I forgot to explain that a second ago, was, let me show you. It was the way that this mounting pin is. So it doesn't go all the way through, but you got an issue. Any of you guys that have trailer hitches and all are probably well aware of what I'm talking about. This thing, so I've got it to where it threads in here because if you just got like a regular pin in here, it's loose. And when you're up there walking around, it's like that. And it freaking sucks. So I've got it to where I got this homemade, just took a bolt and then welded a bar onto it so I can tighten it by hand. I don't need a wrench every time. But when you turn that thing nice and tight, it firms this up a lot. Now it don't move really at all. Yeah, see, look, it's getting rusted and nasty. But anyways, it don't really move, not nearly as much as it did if it would have just a regular hitch pin in there. The problem I'm running into is that one was steel, so I'm able to weld a grade 8 nut in there, so you don't have to worry about cross threading like with stainless steel and aluminum, like there's softer metals. Well, stainless steel is a lot harder, but it cross threads easy. And aluminum's a lot softer, so I don't want it to ever pull out or anything. Steel is much better. Well, that old platform was all steel, so I could take a grade 8 nut, put it inside of there, and I was able to just kind of weld the outer edges of it to get it in. And then I had a way to tighten it and loosen it. Well, with aluminum, can't be welding steel to aluminum. It don't work. It don't mix. It's like oil and water. It don't make no sense. But I got kind of a crafty idea on how I'm going to put a threaded nut inside of this thing. So I'm going to get all the measurements basically. Once I kind of get everything dialed in, I'll go through and explain to y'all what it is that I'm doing. So time to get to work. Y'all feeling it right now? I'm freaking feeling it. You know why you should be feeling it? Did y'all see them pieces as I started cutting them up and laying them up for that platform? That thing is looking freaking ain't it? Hell yeah. I can't wait to have that thing together. So I got all the material cut up for the platform, got it all, like, laid it all out, so I knew that I have all the right pieces. I didn't forget anything. But there is one little complication I'm running into, and we kind of saw it coming, so it's not the big deal. But basically, so what's going on, the main hitch piece that goes underneath the platform and goes into the hitch receiver on the front of my truck, it needs to be 2x2. Brian's, the front of his truck is 2.5 by 2.5, and he actually gave me, he already had an extra section laying around that I think he had already cut because he knew I was going to make one of these platforms eventually. And his is 2.5 by 2.5. So basically the center section that we have cut will not fit into my hitch receiver, which is not the end of the world, because with the way my front bumper is, I've got that aftermarket Road Armor front bumper, that big steel bumper. So my whole platform is going to stick off my truck a bit further than Brian's does on his truck. So it's going to kind of actually work out. It's just a little bit more work. Basically, I'm going to go ahead and use that 2.5 by 2.5 that he gave me that I can use for that center section, but none of it's going to actually go into my trailer hitch receiver. I've actually already cut a piece of 2x2 that will go into the hitch receiver, and we're going to sleeve the 2.5 by 2.5, so it'll be double wall thickness. So basically it'll be double thick all the way up to the part where it actually goes into the receiver. And then the part that goes into the receiver will just be 2x2. Now it's also going to have another piece of steel on there too for this other side part that I'm doing. But where I'm kind of having a challenge is the two materials are different types of materials. They're both aluminum, but we're making the majority of this platform out of structural aluminum, so it's got like the rounded corners to it. But the 2x2 that I have that's going to go into the hitch receiver is the sharp corner 2x2. So the two materials will not slide into each other. I've got to take a little bit off of that 2x2 to be able to get it to fit into the 2.5 by 2.5. Now it doesn't really matter. We're technically losing a little bit of strength, but it's not the end of the world. It's already like way overkill for what we're doing anyways. But I've got to take that piece of 2x2 over to Brian's shop. I'm going to put it on the manual mill and run the mill across it a few different times, like fly cut it a bunch of times, to take a little bit of thickness off of it, just enough that it'll be able to slide into that 2.5 by 2.5. Because right now it's a little too close to a fit. I tried to start doing it with a grinder, and I was like, dude, there's no way I'm gonna get this like consistently the same thickness all the way across to where it slides in and I'm not taking off too much material. So I figured, Brian's got a freaking machine shop. I hit the mad scientist and then over there, get that knocked out, bro. So I shot him with a phone call. He said, not a problem. Naaman's over there. Naaman's gonna help me get all the tools dialed in, be able to get the manual mill going, be able to knock a little bit of thickness off of this 2x2. Now, boom, we're gonna be cooking with bacon. I don't know if y'all saw the picture. I had the piece laid out, but it's looking pretty freaking cool. Things looking super bitchy, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be awesome. Now, the one kind of downside is we are putting a lot of effort into this little freaking work platform, and let's be honest, I'm driving a Chevy. It's a freaking Chevy GMC Duramax. I mean, come on. Not gonna be working under the hood all that much because them things super reliable. Comparatively speaking, them freaking Ford Dodge trucks. Just saying, bro. Who the hell am I kidding? I'm the one with a blown up truck right now. So that means I can talk all the shit I want. I freaking deserve it, all the headaches I've been going through lately, I'll tell you that. All right, now it's time to make this thing fit. Getting all loaded up in the manual mill. Boy, Naaman's getting me all freaking figured out. He's getting my tools back there, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing in this shop unless they tell me. Basically what we're trying to do is get this piece here to slide over that piece there. Yeah. This piece needs to be able to slide over that, but it's not exactly the right size. So we just tried it and it still ain't fitting. Freaking thing's still a little too girthy for the hole. Problem all is time itself. I tell you one something. So I'm gonna keep running the mill back and forth, take another 30 thou off, and hopefully we can get that there shaft and this here hole back at it. All right, I think we're good. We can get her dismantled and we'll give her another shot. All right, moment of truth, here we go. Oh, son. Bam. Now that is what we were looking for. Sweet. Thing is super bitchin'. So now I'm just gonna get Mr. Steve to put a little TIG weld, nice big old fat one, right around here. And then I'm gonna put my insertable piece right here, and man, we're freaking cooking with bacon, I tell you. Hoorah! All right, y'all, well, I left all the pieces there at R&D Concepts for Mr. Steve to go ahead and TIG weld up for me. I still got to finish up with the center piece of the part that we were milling down so that it would fit inside of the sleeve. I want to do a little bit more modification to it. Now, if you all recall, My old little half stand that I had there for working on the truck, it had a little nut that I had like tack welded in place that was actually inside of the part that goes into the receiver. So that way I could use that nut that has a handle welded to it to go ahead and by hand tighten up that whole apparatus so that it gets nice and tight into the front of the truck. Doesn't wobble all over the place and make you fall off and lose all your tools, and it's just not a good day. So don't really have the luxury of just welding a nut in there like I did with the original one, because the original one was steel, and you can't weld steel to aluminum, as far as I know. So I have an idea how we can get around that, and it's gonna add a little bit more strength to the whole 9 yards too. Let me show you what I'm thinking. So I got a piece of angle iron, took just a little bit off the edge, this edge and that edge, so it'll fit inside of the 2x2 that goes into the hitch. And what I'm envisioning doing here, get to where I can show y'all, is this is gonna slide into here, and then I countersunk 2 holes here. The 1/4 screws, I just gotta drill and tap these holes. I'll probably put one down at the end so it doesn't rattle as well. But then I'm thinking I'll take this piece of steel before I put it in there, and I'm just gonna tack this nut onto here, and then bam, I'll have a threaded nut that'll be inside of this hole that is grade A steel, so I don't have to worry about it like cross-threading or like not holding up, getting kind of nasty. And I've got multiple screws holding it in, so if it does cross-thread or get all goofed up, just pull the screws out, pull the screw out of the end. This whole interior piece will slide right out, hopefully. Might have to weld something onto it to yank it out. I don't know if it'll get stuck in there. But ideally, we'll have a big threaded piece and we'll have a big hunk of steel in there, keeping this thing super sturdy. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm not gonna show you all this because it's pretty remedial stuff. It's really simple. I'm just gonna go ahead and weld this nut onto here, put it inside of there, drill the holes, tap them, and then I'll show you what we're working with like a finished product. Whoa, a lot of stuff has happened, y'all. Time to fill y'all in. Well, got the freaking rack back from Mr. Steve, and he cranked that thing out of the park, up over the fence into the next freaking county. I tell you that. This thing is looking so on point. All right, y'all ready for this? I mean, you got to be sitting at the edge of your seat, just ramped up as I am to see this thing, because it's looking, whew, God, it looks good. All right, here we go. You ready? 1, 2, bam! Look at that. I tell you one something. Man, this is sweet. Look at that. Look at that. Would you look at that right there? Take a look at that. Stacking dimes, bruh. You heard me? Thing looking freaking so on point. God. Are y'all seeing this? Now that is a work platform if I say so myself. So now the big test. Time to put it up in the old truck. I mean, I'm pretty sure I measured everything good. Should fit up there all right. But there's always that possibility it ain't gonna fit. So let's go ahead and get it up in there, and then we'll get a really better look at what the heck's going on, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna be killing. I'm pretty excited about this. All right, I obviously just lifted it up there, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting a little nervous. It's gonna be a tight squeeze. We got this much more room to go. It's supposed to stop like right here. But I mean, we're getting, rubbing's about racing. All right. Well, I mean, what's the worst that's gonna happen? It don't fit, we gotta fix it. So here we go, let's get her on in there. Come on, baby. Did it hit my bumper or did it stop? It stopped. Nice. Look at that. Oh, we got room for days. I wasn't sweating it in the least. Look at that. Look at that. Man, that is freaking cool though. Hell yeah. This engine swap's gonna be a piece of cake with a platform like that. Engine swap. Wait a minute, did y'all just hear engine swap? I thought I heard engine swap. No way it's gonna be anything other than a Duramax, I guarantee you that, but new engine. Moving on. Let's get back to this platform here, okay? We digress there. That thing looks so freaking cool. So this is gonna be how we will work on the truck from now on. We'll use this ladder right on over here and get on that platform right on over there, and we can work on everything we need. But so got to get my wood all dialed in for putting up on top of these rungs, because obviously we're not going to be standing in those big open cavities. So I kind of was touching on it a little bit earlier, a couple days ago when I was doing all this, but now you can actually see what I did when I was welding the nut onto that piece of steel and sliding it in there. I can show you all what I was talking about. So this is quite a counterlever we got going on here with this thing sticking so far off the truck because of this girthy bumper. A little mud came out of there. There just can't be any mud. I don't even mud with this thing. Ask all my friends. They say I ride around the sides. Anyways, thing sticks out a good little ways. And if you have one of our heftier friends helping us fix the truck and he's standing way out towards this edge, I mean, that's a good like 3 feet he's away from where it actually locks into. So I was a little concerned about that. I don't want this to bend. I know it's good quality material. It's definitely welded up good, but I still didn't want to have it break. So it's actually, this is 1/4 inch, and then this is 1/4 inch, so it's sleeved, because this is a 2x2, this is a 2.5 by 2.5 quarter wall. And then we've got a 1.5 by 1.5 by quarter wall steel piece of angle that I shoved in here too. And I've got a machine screw in here holding it in so it won't slide out. God, them birds are loud as hell. I'm trying to record, you dicks. God. So then, well, let me slide this back out so you can see. So that piece of angle slides all the way through here. And I got a machine screw here, and there's another one like right in here where I countersunk them in. But the piece of steel, that angle that's inside there, I threaded it so that this machine screw goes through all the aluminum and threads into the steel and tightens up nice. So does the screw that's behind this. You can probably see that right there. Bam, there she is. But then that nut that I welded in there is back in there. So there's actually a thread. You can kind of see the thread back there. Now, let me explain again why that's there. Because when you're standing on this thing working, you don't want it to be rocking and rolling, especially when there's multiple people on it and you're trying to do some stuff. And you're, oh, everybody's staying still because I'm trying to do this. Well, you don't have to worry about that because look what I got. This is actually left over from my old platform that I built. You know, that half luggage rack thing that I got on over yonder. Well, it is a big old nut, or big old nut. That's a big old bolt actually, Zacho, that I welded a piece of stainless steel onto. And that goes right on in here. Look at this. And then it threads on in. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Bam. So we go like this. You don't even need tools. You can just do it with your man muscles. Bam. And look at that. She hardly even moves, even when you're yanking on it. It's actually the whole truck moving from the suspension. Bam. All right, so we are for sure at the home stretch. So I cut a piece of plywood to be able to put up there for like my actual platform. But what I would like to do is kind of make it preserve. I don't want it to get all nasty because I don't have the luxury of a big old shop yet. Will one day. But I don't have a shop yet. I work on all this stuff outside, as y'all are well aware. So that platform, I'm not going to take it off all the time, put it inside. I need that wood to be able to last, be able to withstand the elements and whatnot. So I went and got myself a little can of this Hercules bed liner crap. Seems to be working pretty good. I did the bottom side of the wood. So now I'm going to do the top. So we'll go ahead and just put 2 coats of that on there, let it dry. Already pre-drilled my holes to be able to go into those stanchions. Well, just like that, she is coated. A couple areas look a little funky, like right there. Let's see if I can roll that out a little more. It does look like kind of like shit. But I mean, it's going to serve its purpose. Plenty of grippage to her. And pretty sure she'll be protected. She'll be nice and waterproof. So I'm going to let her dry. Then it'll be time to screw her on down to the brand new platform, and then I can start working on that engine bay. But yeah, this Herculiner is kind of, I mean, I'd be pissed if this is my truck bed. I would not be happy with it. But considering it's just a BS platform, whatever. It'll do. Well, there we go. I rolled it a little bit, and it came out a little slicker. You can tell it's a little more damp there where I added a little bit more, but I think she'll do. It was looking like crap there a second, so I re-rolled it out a little bit. I think we got decent coverage, and when it all dries, it should look somewhat uniform. And guess what? If it don't look perfect, I don't really care because I'm going to be standing on it. Well, y'all, I wasn't happy with it. Can't have nothing that looks like crap, even if it is just a freaking platform that I stand on to work on the truck. So I threw another coat on it, and she looks much, much, much better. Super dialed in. Hell yeah. So I just gotta let her dry, and then get her bolted on up on the platform that's over up yonder. And then we can start getting to work on this engine. I'm pretty freaking excited because, oh boy, man, I can't wait. Can't wait to tell you all about some of the plans we got. We're starting to get pretty good plan dialed in, I'll tell you. It's gonna be a real freaking deal. Probably be a couple days YouTube time, but real time be picking up tomorrow, where we're gonna probably get that piece bolted on the platform, and then the first step of bringing old Killin It back to life. Actually, we've already been doing steps, but first, like, manual step towards bringing her back to life. And that's going to be, I got to pull the radiator out because I've contacted my buddy over at TCP Performance, and he's going to be making me a custom radiator for this so that we will not, hopefully we will not have any more overheating issues. We're going to get a radiator that's going to hold about 40% more volume. It's going to be a little bit thicker, and it's also not going to have the transmission fluid running through it anymore. So for those of y'all that don't know, because I didn't know until somewhat recently, with these Duramaxes, probably on other trucks too, you have your transmission fluid that's in your transmission pan, which I got a bigger transmission pan, so it holds a little bit more fluid, so that helps with the whole cooling aspect. But that fluid comes from the transmission, goes up to the radiator, runs through the radiator to get cooled, and then it runs through the auxiliary cooler that's right in front of the radiator. It's a little small cooler. I'll show you all this in the next video, but I'm going to be eliminating all that nonsense from being up in the front of the truck, and I'm just going to be running it back to its own separate cooler that we're going to mount somewhere towards the back of the truck. So that's part of our plan for bringing old girl back to life and for helping her prolong her second life, or second gen. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, prolonging her second engine. So that being said, my next video, I'm going to be pulling that radiator out because I got to send it to my buddy that's making the custom radiator for me. He wants to have my current radiator right there while he builds this new bigger one, so he can make sure it uses all the same factory mounts, make sure it'll fit somewhat in the same location with having that little bit more depth to it. So keep a lookout for that video. That'll be coming up here not too much longer. So I think I'll check back in with y'all tomorrow when that second coat of bed liner that's on that piece is all dry. Get her bolted on the platform, and that will probably be the end of this video, and then we'll start working in that engine bay. Ooh, it's gonna be sweet. Got some really cool plans, tell you. Right? Got some cool people that decided to join the Killin It party. Oh yeah, it's gonna be over the top, I'm telling you that. All right, y'all, I think we're at the final stage of putting this freaking platform together, finally. That last coat, I think, did the trick. Look at that, that looks a hell of a lot better. I know I probably could have left it the way it was, and a lot of people are going to say, oh, it was just something to stand on. What the hell did... Well, no sense in doing something if you ain't going to do it right. So it looks pretty freaking good, if I say so myself. A nice little texture to it. So, shouldn't be able to slip and bust my old ass on that thing. So, be with you here in just 1 second. All right, you guys ready to see something really cool only 2 people have ever seen in their lifetime? Freaking coolest engine work platform y'all ever done seen. She's officially done. Bam! Look at that. Here we go. Maiden voyage. Let's get this light over here so you can see. Look at that. It's gonna look a lot cooler in the daytime. All right, moment of truth. I'll let it hold my ass. Not gonna lie, it's a little spooky. Oh man, this is cool. This is freaking cool. That is a work platform, y'all. God, I got room for days on this thing, and it's super sturdy. Hell yeah. Well, now that is a wrap on our video, getting the work platform all together for doing this freaking engine work we got coming up yonder. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for our video. I'm actually going to start recording it tomorrow. Y'all won't see it for a few days, but we're going to actually start going through all of the plans for getting the truck all dialed in, for getting this engine swapped out, and I'll start letting y'all in on some of these secrets I've been keeping from you. It's definitely worth the wait, trust me. So thanks for watching, y'all. Well, I didn't want to go ahead and cut the video off without y'all actually getting a good thorough look at this new platform. So we're not done with the video quite yet. Another just a couple seconds. Bam, there she is. Looks freaking sweet, huh? Stacking them dimes. Bam, thing is looking super on point. Look how much freaking bigger it is too than my old one. So much room for activities, holy Toledo. Yeah, this is freaking banging. Real deal. I make it pretty easy to get on and girl. Oh man, we got a mess to deal with in here, don't we? We'll close this on up for a later day. Now that is a wrap on our video of our new work platform. Hope y'all enjoy the video. Thanks for watching, y'all. If y'all enjoyed the video and want to check out future videos, subscribe to our channel. Hit that button right there. While you're at it, hit the like button at the bottom of your screen. You can also check out our website, KillinItLifestyle.com. There you can follow the Killin It crew and order your own apparel so everyone will know you're killing it.